Hello, good evening. A few years ago, not many of us would have known much about RAAC. It's a lightweight concrete that was used to construct many public buildings back in the 1950s and 60s. But more recently, concerns over its structural safety have forced the closure of some hospitals, schools, shopping centres and theatres right across the country. Tonight, though, we're hearing from residents on an estate in Rhondda who say they live in constant fear their ceilings will collapse after it emerged their homes contained RAAC. Our correspondent Richard Morgan has been speaking to some of them and has tonight's top story.
I'm over there.
Every morning, Barbara and Trevor look for the telltale cracks in the bedroom ceiling, which could spell disaster for their home. Like the other residents of the Gower estate in Hirwaun, the roof of their house was built using RAAC, a lightweight form of concrete with a shorter lifespan than other materials. It's left the couple anxious and with a home that's plummeted in value.
We've never really had money, but we worked and decided, well, we'll buy a house and then at least we got something to leave the children. I'm aware that I now don't have a house to leave my children. That really upsets me.
It's the same story for Ian and his wife Angela. Since they were told about the RAAC problem, they worry every day about the roof falling in.
They turn around and say it's all safe, but when you look online to surveyors' sites, you know, they turn around, it can shear, so it could go at any second without no warning at all of it. So, you know, we could be lying there in the night, next morning we got the roof on top of us. They turn around and coming out with numbers like 20,000, 22,000 to make it safe. I can't afford that. You know, we're on just state pension and that's it. You know, we haven't got any savings.
Last year, residents of 77 homes here were told their properties contained RAAC. Social housing tenants were moved out and work done to make their ceilings safe. For homeowners, council grants were made available, but its claimed eligibility criteria meant only 2 residents applied, leaving the others facing bills of more than £20,000 to make their homes safe. Now, this RAAC campaigner in Cardiff to hand in a letter to the Housing Minister wants the Welsh Government to step in.
These homeowners live in one of the most deprived communities in Wales. They cannot afford to pay £23,000 for a support system that potentially will last for 5 years. They cannot even afford to pay for the inspection of their roof, which is around £1,500. Without assistance from the government, they're simply going to have to face bankruptcy and homelessness.
In a statement, the Welsh Government said it was continuing to monitor the situation in Hirwaun and would strongly encourage all homeowners to undertake surveys to identify the extent of RAAC within their homes. Back in Hirwaun, Ian's roof is sound for now, but he worries about the future and who'll pay the bill if things go wrong.
Well, Richard joins me now. Richard, is there any financial support out there to help the couples that we saw in your film?
Well, John, we spoke to Rhondda Council and they say they are offering grants of up to £6,500 plus an interest-free loan to homeowners affected. But, and it's a big but, homeowners have to meet eligibility criteria to qualify for that money. Many say they don't. For example, one of the couples said they needed to be on pension credit to qualify, and they're above that threshold. Now, Travalis, the housing association involved here, they said they were willing to help, for example, by giving homeowners the option to use their own contractors. But any way you cut this, these homeowners are being left with a big bill that they say they simply can't afford. The government say they recognise how difficult the situation is, but they haven't actually stubbed up any cash so far. Now, we're only talking about 14 households here. They say they bought these homes in good faith, often via the right to buy scheme, but they say they're now being unfairly punished for RAAC concrete in their roof that simply wasn't their fault, John.
OK, Richard, thanks very much indeed for that.